see you moving on the dance floor. I never thought that this could happen. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on, baby? Tell me what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? 'Cause there was a time you were here with me, girl. All things were fine, lost and happily, baby. Then you decide that you're not gonna be mine. But I lost my mind. This life is not for me. 'Cause I love you, I need you, and I see you grooving on the dance floor. I never thought that this could happen. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Yeah. What the hell is going on? Tell me what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on, baby? What the hell is going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. My name is Kelvin.
I'm Taylor.
And we are Call in America. What is up? How you doing, Tay?
We are on a Sunday afternoon, and we got a little surprise yesterday.
We did get a little surprise yesterday. We got our ballots in the mail, ladies and gentlemen.
I was super jealous because we went to Jobot on yesterday to go get coffee, and I saw this chick carrying hers. Like, she'd already done it. She's like walking to the mail, and I'm like, where the freak is mine?
You can curse on here. Where the hell is mine?
Where the hell's mine?
So it's crazy because like this is the year, man. Like they're saying, like this is the year that we're gonna have a huge turnout as far as like mail-in ballots and people just showing up at the polls. And so I saw this idea. I want to give a big shout out to my friend Paris, who she did like a little live video the other day, and she said that she was, she did an unboxing of her ballot, and I was just like, dude, that's such a freaking great idea. So I want to give credit where credit is due, especially to Black women. And so this was her idea that I kind of brought to light via in our way here. And so we're super excited about this. And
so what we're going to be doing, though, is not actually going through who we're voting for, but we're going to go through each side. You're going to open it up. Yeah. You're going to tell us.
We may say who we vote for.
And then we'll go through and have conversations because we have a special guest that's very knowledgeable.
Mr. JJ Westgate is going to be joining us. And JJ is and if you live here in Phoenix or in Arizona, you guys know JJ. JJ is a very vocal person who knows about politics. He knows a great deal about politics. He knows a lot about the people who are running. And so what today is going to be, it's going to be more of a resource for you guys. This is not about getting into to the politics of the candidates, but kind of just understanding why certain people are voting the way they're voting, and why maybe not to vote another way. We're going to go over some of the propositions.
But if people have questions,
you have questions, you can call in. This show is going to be live. It is Call in America. Call me now. When the phone lines are open, that means you guys can call in. Call in. You'll be able to ask us questions. You can voice your opinion. If we're going over a section and you're like, hey, man, this is what I think about this, we'd love to hear from you. It's not going to be a big dialogue. Call in, speak your truth, and then we'll go on to the next caller. So
I do have a quick question, though.
Go ahead.
Who are you wearing, Kelvin?
Oh, man, who am I wearing? So I want to give another big shout out to Tomorrow We Vote, ladies and gentlemen, a local organization here in Phoenix, done by
Brent Whiting.
Brent and Andrea Whiting. They got married today. Congratulations, you guys, on your marriage today. We were there today. We actually DJ'd their wedding, and it was super fun. That was probably the quickest weddings I've ever.
It was a great wedding. It was outside.
It was fun, but it was like in and out, and and there was no doubt. So super exciting. Are you guys ready to unbox this thing?
So before that, too,
let's unbox it.
We got this little voter's education guide.
Heyo.
When it in the mail. definitely from recycled paper, and not a whole.
We almost threw it away. Well,
I
gotta say,
we did, and then we had to pull it out.
I had to pull it out because we wanted to do the show, and we're like, "Well, do we have that little magazine?" All right, guys. So I'm unboxing this. I want to unbox this real quick and let you guys know exactly what's inside there. You guys all know what it is, but it's an unboxing episode, so we're actually going to unbox it, and then we're going to bring JJ on, and we're going to jump right into each category and talk about, just give a brief synopsis over it, and get this thing going. Okay.
All right. So what you got?
So before we start, if you guys are out there, please share the stream. If you're watching right now, please share the stream and make sure that you guys participate. Put your comments in the comments, and then and let's get this thing going, guys. All right, here we go. So upon unboxing, we have our envelope. That's our return envelope. It's good to go anywhere. You can put this right in your mailbox, or you can do what we're going to do, and we're going to take it right down to the Arizona voter office, and I'm going to tell you exactly why we do that. Okay, you got this little book here, which I don't think anybody ever reads. I think it's the exact same book that they send you in the mail, just a shorter version, still out of that recycled newspaper. Good times. We've got our actual ballot. Okay, and then you got some voting instructions. Okay, so the voting instructions are just kind of like, make sure you use a number 2 pencil and all that stuff. I'm kidding. I don't think you need a number 2 pencil. So that being said, guys, we are ready to jump right into this, and I'm going to bring on our guest, our first guest, and our only guest, actually. It says it keeps cutting out. Can you check that, Tay? What keeps cutting out? I think we're good. All right, so just keep watching Alero out there, and you're going to be good to go. I'm going to bring in JJ. JJ, welcome to the stream. Welcome to Call in America. Boop, there you go. My friend, how you doing?
I'm well.
That is amazing.
Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you absolutely fine. Viewers, can you hear him? Go ahead and put it in the comments if you can. But if we can hear you, then you're going to be good to go. So I want to welcome you so much and thank you so much for joining the stream today. This was impromptu, and you were available to do it, and so I'm really happy to have you on, JJ.
Great. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it, my friend. Let's just start right at the top. We've got our ballots here. We've got our pens. We've got everything going. And what I'd like to do is just go through each one and just kind of like, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Give us some of your thoughts, and then tell us how you're voting.
Well, Joe Biden.
With you?
What's that?
Do you have your ballot with you?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay, sounds good.
So Joe Biden was not my 5th choice, but sometimes it's like you got to dance with the girl with the bad breath that you brought to prom. So
hey, man,
we're gonna roll with Biden. Biden is Biden's at least a good man, so that will be a refreshing change.
Absolutely. And for me, as far as I'm concerned, I will go ahead and say that I am riding with Biden. The reason why I'm riding with Biden is because we got a black woman on the ticket, and I'm always gonna. And I decided this year that I'm gonna start voting for what I believe and my best interest, and that is that we need to lift black voices, and so that just is what it is, and so that's what I'm gonna do.
Biden also like 78 years old, so Kamala very well may end up finishing this up.
Absolutely.
He looks pretty healthy, but he still fall over in his oatmeal all day. Oatmeal days old.
God.
Okay.
All right, my friend. Let's just jump right. So now, how do you want to do this? We're going to go down. So we're just starting at the 3rd left column on the far left, and we're just going to go all the way down. Yep. Okay. Very good. So let's talk about the United States senators and Congress and all that stuff. And you had some thoughts on this. Go ahead.
So Mark Kelly is a good guy, and I believe in his personal ideas about the Second Amendment. That he thinks that it should be well regulated. His family has experienced a terrible crime, and he's an honorable guy. He's a lot more conservative than I am, but I think generally he'll do the right thing. Martha McSally, our unelected incumbent, should not be elected this time either. If she couldn't beat Kyrsten Sinema, she certainly doesn't deserve a shot now.
Okay. And I've seen a lot of stuff on there's been a lot of like negative campaign as far as I'm concerned. I've seen a lot of these commercials where it's like Martha McSally voted against existing conditions. So next time you have a friend that has asthma or has this, that, third, you think of Martha McSally. So would you agree with that testament?
Well, Martha McSally has done everything possible to kill Obamacare. And for 4 years we've been hearing that they're going to replace it with something else. And I can't find the Republican plan to replace Obamacare, make it work better, and provide for medical care for people with pre-existing conditions.
Understood.
Well, and Mark Kelly was an astronaut too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's an astronaut. They were both combat pilots.
All right, I'm gonna make sure that we have sound. Can you just go make sure that we have some sound over there? Because I have headphones on. I think that's just you, Alero. I'm sorry, hon. I think that might be a you thing. Yeah, we've got sound over here.
So one thing I've heard some negativity about Mark Kelly as well too, because he said he's a good guy. But I heard about like some sexual scandals or harassment scandals. Is that accurate, or am I making that up?
No, I think he was on a board. He was on a board of a company, and some ratchetry and poor conduct occurred at the company. But I don't really think that we're in the business of holding people accountable.
Hey, man,
for much anymore. So,
come on.
I was just curious because I put down Mark Kelly
funny.
too. So, and one thing I noticed as I was doing some research here is it seems like a lot of the representatives are newly appointed. Where is that accurate to say? In a lot of Democrats, at least for the U.S. senators in the state that I'm looking at here, a lot of the Democrats are rerunning where a lot of Republicans are first time running. Is that fair to say or no?
are you looking at LD24?
I'm looking at so Mark Kelly was holding office, but then I was looking at Layla Alston along with the Democratic Senator District 24.
So Layla Alston has been they've been seat swapping in LD24 for 20 years, and she is the Democratic nominee in LD24. I don't feel particularly represented by her. Nobody in the Black community should feel seen or represented by Layla Alston, but she's less bad than the Republican.
Okay. Very good. That's good to know. So I mean, if you're voting blue, you're going to vote for her. But there's, if you're in the Black community, you got some reserves. Is that what you're saying?
You know what? Being Black in America is an exercise in not getting what I want. So
yeah. We're experts at that. Okay, very good. Awesome. All right, did we go over the U.S. Representative Congress District 7? Did we do?
Yet.
Let's talk about Joshua Barnett and talk about Ruben Gallego. Sorry.
Ruben is a Marine combat veteran. He joined the Marine Reserves and left Harvard University to go and fight in Iraq. Came back, graduated, and Ruben doesn't always get it right, but nobody always gets it right. But what Ruben will do is he will listen and he will fight. Ruben is ready. He is humble enough to know when he was wrong on something and act to fix it. So, Ruben definitely deserves support, going forward.
Very good. All right, let's move over to the state representative, District 24. We have Robin Cushman, David Alger, Amish Shah, and Jennifer Longden. 2 Dems, 2 Republicans.
And you get to choose 2. I remember I did because Amish was last year as well. I remember liking him. He's a doctor. This is his second term. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Got it.
Amish and Jennifer swept in together. Jennifer Longden is a survivor of gun violence. And her advocacy for the disability community is admirable.
Wow.
And Amish obviously probably campaigned hard. He campaigned very, very hard.
Very good.
What about
Marcus Burrell get elected? But Alger or Cushman?
Are there any Republicans out there, JJ, that you're kind of like, these are kind of better. They have better platforms. They have better stances on things than their Democratic person that's going against them.
Not in 24.
Yeah. Okay.
Not in 24. I mean, I believe that primaries are good for a healthy debate. We didn't get that in LD 24. So once again, we're dancing with the one we went to prom with.
So David Alger Sr. has not held a position before in the past, right? This is his first time along with Robin Cushman.
Don't care. They didn't ask for my vote.
Yeah.
Did they ask for yours?
No. Well, I mean, does anybody ask for my damn vote? Really? I mean,
well, you got to at least campaign. Do something. A Facebook ad, something. Tell me something. We know who Longden and Shaw are, but we don't know who these other two are because they didn't bother to campaign in the heavily blue district.
Got you. Wow. So how does that even work? So if you're not even gonna be campaigning, what do you? Why do you think these people are? Because you did politics before, right? Like you were in before. Why would somebody not campaign but at least have their name on the ballot? Like what's going on with that?
You know what? They might not have the ability financially, but these two just didn't bother to do anything. There's absolutely nothing wrong if they want to win votes. They need to reach out to people like me who could be possibly swayed, right, and tell me why them.
And has a bit of an influence, right? I mean, you make posts all the time, and
shoot your shot.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it. Understood. Very good. Corporate commissioner. Let's move on.
So we are actually the only place that I'm even willing to listen to a Republican on this ballot is James O'Connor. James O'Connor has at times actually pushed back on some of the, I shouldn't swear, on some of the mopery.
You can totally swear.
Some of the mopery and backroom dealing that goes on at the Arizona Corporation Commission.
Okay.
That said, we have an opportunity to elect Anna Tovar, who's an honorable woman. She was the mayor in Avondale, I believe.
Yeah.
She's always been a solid shooter. She's a cancer survivor, smart lady, definitely deserves a vote. Bill Mundell has been previously served on the Arizona Corporation Commission. He believes in solar, wind, renewable energy, and he is a good guy. He's also a guy who will listen. Shea Stanfield, I don't know, but Tovar and Mundell are running on a slate with her. So I would encourage people, if you like to have clean air and want to have a check on APS, just raising your rates over and over again, I would encourage you to vote for the Democrats.
Gotcha. So part of this is also about asking, creating a safe space to ask dumb questions, and I'm going to go ahead and play the devil's advocate and ask questions that I think that I had in the past and that other people may have as well.
Does the devil need an advocate?
Well, no, he sure the hell doesn't. But for corporate commissioner, it says vote for not more than 3. So I really want to understand what that means. There are 6 total candidates on here, three Republicans, 3 Democrats. If I vote for one of them, right? Let's say I vote for just Anna Tovar. What does that mean? And what does it mean for not voting for not more than 3? What happens? Are there several positions that could be filled? Is it one position? What does that actually mean? If you know.
Correct. There are a number of positions. There's either 2 or 3 positions that are open, and this is a huge opportunity. Sandra Kennedy currently sits on the Arizona Corporation Commission, and she is our sister soldier. She asks uncomfortable questions. She's not there to make anyone comfortable. She is smart and she needs help.
Oh gosh!
So sending her Democrats is the best way to help her.
Making people comfortable is like.
And Sandra Kennedy, by the way, is the highest black elected woman in Arizona.
All right.
So send her help.
Absolutely. Done and done. All right, let's go let's go next to the county board of supervisors, district number 5. We only have one, right? So what is that about when there's only one option to vote for?
So there are 5 districts in Maricopa County, and we are in Steve Gallardo's district. He has done a good job. He's been a champion of Latino rights. He came out as being gay and proud a number of years ago, and he's probably the senior Democrat or the senior gay elected official in Arizona. I can't think of anybody else who's in a higher office.
Nice. And you know what? Today is coming out day, so
it is.
He's got my vote. Okay, you came out, so you got my vote. Very good.
Now, I didn't want to move on from that real quick. So, also running, there are, this is the first time in a long time that we've had multiple Democrats running, and we have Whitney Walker is running in, and I'm going to get these districts wrong.
It's all good.
I believe she's running in 4, and Gevin Hodge, very, very fine young man. Burdetta Hodge's son is running in District 1.
So now these are not on our ballots, though.
They're not in your but this is, your show is bigger than LD 24.
Understood. But for those who
they're not on your ballot.
So how does that work? Do we write these people in?
No. You vote for who appears on your ballot.
Got you. Okay, you're just making a point to mention these other names. Is that what you're saying? Very
right.
Good. Absolutely. Go ahead.
So Gevin Hodge is a young black man, dynamic, excellent speaker, and just sharp. He's been working in politics probably since he was 13 or 14 years old, and he deserves your support. Deidre Aboud is also running. Deidre is an immigration attorney, very, very smart, Muslim American, and is absolutely nobody's fool. She would be a breath of fresh air, perhaps restraining, the sheriff's office if the sheriff's office gets, falls into different hands. And even with Paul Pinsone, who also deserves another term, but Paul Pinsone really answers to the Board of Supervisors and to the voters.
We like Paul Pinsone. That's amazing. Okay,
I do like Paul Pinsone.
Let's move on to the county assessor. So for us, we have Eddie Cook, and then Aaron Connor is the Democrat.
So Aaron Connor, people don't understand a lot about what the assessor's office does. The assessor's office assesses the value of properties and sends out and uses that tax, and then generates that tax revenue and uses that for primarily. Now, we've seen redlining going on with the Republicans actually devaluing property in black and brown neighborhoods, and that decreases the tax base there, and it harms the schools. So why don't we try something different? I don't think we've had I don't believe we've had a Democrat even run for the office since 1972.
That's
and
amazing.
Connor's put himself out there.
Yeah, Eddie Cook holds office right now, right? But Aaron Connor.
He's unelected, but he was appointed. He was previously in the Arizona legislature doing everything that he could in the Rules Committee to stymie any sort of progressive bill that wanted to move through there.
Very good. Awesome. Okay, very good. All right. County attorney. We've got Alistair Adele, and then we've got Julie Gunigal.
Not even a close call.
For who?
Julie Gunigal. Okay. Julie Gunigal has come farther than any candidate I have personally seen. Okay. I started out supporting another candidate, and she was always courteous when we would run into each other at events. I actually worked for that other candidate. Alistair Adele is just repackaged Bill Montgomery. She isn't abrasive. She has a really nice smile, but she's the same thing.
Right.
She is the same thing.
No change.
So when you say that Julie Gunigal has, I can't remember the exact words that you just said, but worked her butt off is kind of what I took at. And so what makes her stand out to you? What are her background and ethics that make her a candidate you're voting for?
Her ability to accept new information and act on it is very, very important. We have people who are too frequently calcified in a position, and Julie will listen. She might not agree with you, but she will listen to you, and
That's
she'll
important.
tell you why she doesn't agree with you in a cogent way other than being churlish. This would also be a refreshing change in Arizona politics.
Okay.
And what is the county attorney? Because I'm looking at her site too, and I'm seeing a lot of things that I personally like: protect women, children, seniors from violence, incarceration by implementing sentencing reform. There's a lot of good stuff here, but
in cash bail, that's such an interesting one to me. Like, that's interesting.
But how much power does the county attorney have to actually, like, what levers can they pull to actually make these changes? Do they have a lot of power to do so?
The county attorney is incredibly powerful. First and foremost, the county attorney is the person who decides whether or not a case is prosecuted. So Phoenix PD could arrest somebody for possession of marijuana, and if the county attorney declines prosecution, I guess the city of Phoenix could take over and prosecute it as a misdemeanor if they decided to, but effectively the case is over. I also think that Julie Gunnigal would be much better at prosecuting police officers who engage in misconduct. Bill Montgomery quite deliberately botched a case. An officer, Timothy Morris, raped a gay woman behind Walgreens on 52nd and Thomas, and the prosecution was deliberately botched by the county attorney, and Officer Morris was acquitted of raping this lifelong lesbian in handcuffs in the back of his Tahoe. His semen was found in the back of the Tahoe. It was as slam dunk a case as ever, and they sent in an attorney who I wouldn't hire to negotiate my grocery bill at Bash's.
Okay, well, so Julie Gunnigal is definitely the person we're going for. That's some really unfortunate news and very hard to hear. I do like what she does have a stance on systemic racism, which I think is powerful. And I think as a white woman to come out and say, first of all, to acknowledge systemic racism, and then to have it on as something that she's going to address if she's elected, I think that's pretty cool. So she definitely gets my vote there. I like that. County recorder. Let's talk about it. We've got Stephen Richer and we've got Adrian P. Fontes, who's actually a local neighbor here. And he's held it. This is his second time about it. It's second.
Correct.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on
it? Fontes has streamlined. He has streamlined the recorder's office. He's made it safer. He's made voting better and safer. There's much less likelihood that somebody could interfere with the voting process. A lot of people don't know that he also was an attorney. He was a gifted trial attorney for many, many years. And he is a good guy, and he'll work hard for Arizona. I'm almost sad to see him running for this office again rather than running perhaps in another race.
Like something like a promotion almost, right? Yeah. He's got a lot of heart. He's got a lot of heart for Phoenix. He's also like taking care of himself too. I do want to give him a shout. Like he went through a transformation where he started being really, really healthy and taking care of himself. And I think that just shows the length at which he'll go to take care of something that he cares about.
Well, I'm not sure it's because we live in the same neighborhood as him or not, but it's he shows up to every event. Yeah, like everyone knows who Adrian Fontes is in our neighborhood because he shows up, he talks, and he's like that guy that's like, I'm not going to give a speech. I'm not going to, as he's like grabbing the mic. Talk to everyone,
that's amazing. And I think he also sings too. I think he was in I
think he plays guitar.
Something like that because he played with Andrea's band at one time. Yeah. So, okay, very good.
He's a gifted orator. He really delivers an amazing speech.
That's amazing. All right, let's talk about the county school superintendent. We've got Steve Watson, who's a Republican, and we've got Janine Castine. I've seen that name around. What are your thoughts, JJ?
So Jean Castine, when I talked to her, one of the things that I liked is she believes that the best school for a kid is the neighborhood school. Yes. There was a time when our neighborhood schools were really the center of our neighborhoods. They were, community gathering spaces. There was a great deal of pride. Parents were involved. And then we got charter schools, which are repackaged segregation
Right.
And charter schools are with us to stay. But we have a choice between a Republican who is going to do everything that he can to enrich his charter school owning friends, and we have Jean Castine that is going to do everything she can to advocate for people who are much more on the margins.
You know, public school is the way to go. I think that your local school in your neighborhood, in your community, we've got to get back to that because it's just so important. We in our neighborhood, we live in between two schools, and I love it. That's, you know, I love seeing the kids, you know, coming in and out of the neighborhood and whatnot, and just hanging out with each other. And it's just, honestly, that makes me feel safe. And so I'm all about that. That's fantastic. It's good stuff. All right, we talked briefly on the sheriff. Let's talk about it. We have Jerry Sheridan, who's a Republican, and then we got Paul Pinsone, who's been there. What are your thoughts either way, JJ?
So let me just say that when Jerry Sheridan was Arpaio's right-hand man, he was the one who ordered that pregnant women giving birth be shackled while they were giving birth. So that is monstrous conduct in and of itself.
Where does that even come from? Like, where does that even come from? That's just so insane. But go ahead. Sorry.
Right, because a woman in mid-download is about to start some sort of ninja operation and start
leave her baby,
taking her way out of the hospital.
It's
ridiculous.
Insane.
It's ridiculous. And then Jerry Sheridan was also bench slapped by Judge Murray Snow of the Arizona District Court for lying, and was actually cited for contempt. The fact that he would shape his mouth to say that he wants to run for office again after that, just shows you the swagger of the mediocre.
Let's talk about Paul Pinsone. Besides looking handsome, he's a nice tall drink of water there. What are your thoughts about Paul Pinsone?
Paul Pinsone has helped the department evolve. When Sheridan harps on morale being low, it's because Pinsone is doing away with the good old boy system. He wants people to go to work. He wants people to treat, inmates and the public with courtesy, dignity, and respect. And anybody who doesn't do that is going to have to find a different place to make a living.
That just makes sense to me. It's professional.
He's not perfect, but he's working hard to have equity in that department.
Yeah, understood.
Now, does Pinsone support ICE?
So SB 1070 sort of sticks us with ICE in the jail. There's not much that Pinsone can do about that.
Okay.
SB 1070 by law requires us to have ICE in the jail or cooperate with ICE.
Very good. Let's talk about the county treasurer, my friend. We've got John Allen, Republican. We've got Danielle Toporek.
I know nothing about either of these candidates.
Yeah.
So Dan Toporek is a retired U.S. Army Apache pilot, combat veteran, both Iraq and Afghanistan, family guy, great guy. And he was originally going to run for legislature, but then he looked at the race and he said, you know what? The people who are in that seat are doing a good job. So it would be pure ego for me to run that when the incumbents are doing a good job. He was approached to run for treasurer, and he has a background in finance and budget management. So he took that on. I believe his last job was managing a large budget in the Pentagon before he retired.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Wow.
That was Daniel Toporek?
Yes.
Do you know anything about John Allen?
John Allen is another retread candidate from the Arizona legislature. What a lot of the Republicans do is they just sort of circulate from one office to another, stacking pensions together. So they'll spend some time in the legislature, max out a pension there, then they'll run for another office, max out that pension, and then they'll try to finish up as a justice of the peace at $102,000 a year, and do that for 5 years to bump up the amount of their pension. He's nothing to, he's no one who is going to be a champion of progress or doing smarter things with the money in the Arizona in Maricopa County.
Very good.
So then we get this section here that says nonpartisan ballot, Maricopa County Special Health Care District, Proposition 449. So I'm not familiar with this proposition. Are you?
Not at all. A measure referred to the voters of Maricopa County to authorize the continuation of a secondary property tax levy for the benefit of the Maricopa County Special Health Care District for 20 years as authorized by the law. What are your thoughts on this? What is a yes to you in layman terms, and what is a no to you in this regard, JJ?
So yes vote on Prop 449 maintains public health care, and a no vote takes a big chunk of public health care away for the next 20 years. We still need to build a hospital in South Phoenix. It is very, very important that get done. Right now, we live in a cluster of medical privilege with all of the with the hospitals, within 2 or 3 miles of our front door.
For sure.
But if you're, if Aunt Gertrude falls down and breaks her hip at rush hour in South Phoenix, she's a 40-minute ambulance ride from the nearest hospital.
Interesting.
But it's going to come at $38 per year if you own a home that is over $200,000. Is that how that works?
That is assessed at $200,000 a year.
Got it.
Okay.
Or assessed at a value of $200,000.
And then where does that $38 come out of? Is it coming out of the the escrow account? Like, is that how that works?
I think it's just you pay that in your property taxes, right?
Yeah, you pay that in your property tax. So if your property tax was $900 this year, that would basically back $40 out of your bill, and you could watch the medical infrastructure crumble in your community.
Gotcha.
Oh, so this is this saying that now if our property tax was $900, now it's going to be $938, or is it saying that $38?
No, it would stay at $900. It would stay at $900 rather than going.
It's going to stay, right? Gotcha. Very good. Okay, very
so
good.
This isn't about paying more; it's about
keeping
where
it
directs to for public health. Okay,
they want to take it away. This is about keeping it the same. Thumbs up. Okay, let's do Maricopa County Community College District at large. So is this like a position that somebody holds for the community colleges? What are your thoughts on this?
You know what? I know Linda Thor, but I do not know Shelley Richardson Boggs. So I think I would encourage people to do a little research on their own.
Very good. Yeah.
And I'm going to punt on this one because I need to do some research on that.
I like it.
Yeah, it looks like, and I don't think I've ever noticed this before, but many of them don't have Republican or Democrat.
Because I don't think that these are like.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It's at large.
Yeah, very good. So that's just for the whole thing. Okay, so the at large ones, honestly, I think that we can kind of move past. I mean, unless you have anybody that you want to shout out in that.
I'd definitely like to talk about Phoenix High Governing Board and Phoenix Elementary.
Let's do it. Is that the Phoenix Union 210 and the Phoenix Elementary?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, let's go over that. Go ahead.
So Aaron Marquez is also an Army veteran. He is a good guy, has good progressive values. He's sort of in Ruben Gallego's orbit, and he will be a reliable vote to minimize police and militarization of the schools. He believes in public education, and he will do the best that he can to keep the good work that's been going. Dr. Chad Geston is the superintendent of the school of the Phoenix Union High School, and he's doing a good job, and he could use some help.
Okay, very good. All right, now go ahead.
Okay, so then we get to Phoenix Elementary, number 1, school governing board members, and quite frankly, we have an embarrassment of riches with qualified people running in this race. There are several of them that I know personally. Yeah. And it is a shame that we can only choose 3. Alicia Vink, Jessica Bueno, Quante Cruz, and Nicholas Martin are all people that I strongly recommend.
Very good. Awesome. And Alicia Vink just joined our show. So there you go. She said,
"Hi, neighbor."
Say those names one more time. You said Alicia Vink,
Jessica Bueno, Quante Cruz, and Nicholas Martin.
Quante
so
Cruz.
if I was going, Quante Cruz is a black mom.
Yeah,
she is very well educated, and
a cool name, Quante Cruz, baby.
Oh yeah,
I'm in love with that.
And then Nick Martin is currently a teacher. He's an out gay man, and I think it is very important for out gay teachers to be in the classroom and to be heard. Perhaps having a gay teacher might help might help a kid that's struggling.
Huge.
So,
but you can only vote for 3, so no more than 3. So, I love the gay aspect. I voted for all the women. I gotta say, I just, my thoughts are that women, on that same token, is that women need to be in positions of power. So, we've heard enough from the men as far as I'm concerned. But I wish Mr. Martin the best. That's my personal opinion. All right, very good. Go ahead.
So next we have Mayor of Phoenix.
Let's do it. Hamilton, Tim C, and Kate Gallier.
Right. So Marissa Hamilton was the chief of staff for Sal DeCiccio, and there's not a lot of daylight between the two of them, which is reason enough for me to not go with Marissa. She does have a very soft spot for homeless folks, but she's also just a crazy open carry, concealed carry nut, and I don't like the way that she would take the city.
Okay.
Kate Gallego is one of the smartest people I've ever met, and that is why it pains me so much to not be able to endorse her for mayor of Phoenix. Kate has done absolutely nothing to bring the violence of the Phoenix Police Department under control. And she has failed to do that because she refuses to pull the reins on the unelected city manager. So I'll be supporting Tim C.
And you know what? Tim C is a black man. I can see.
Tim C is a black man,
and I see you two got kind of the same hair color there. So I see a little bit of you in Tim C. Tell me your thoughts about Tim C. Listen, for all you people out there, I'm always going to vote black. I'm always going to bet on black because hell, women and black people. That's what I'm voting for down the line. That's just me. But go ahead, JJ. Tell me your thoughts.
So Tim has been a community activist for years. He has, within the organization that he runs, he's done a lot to bring scholarships to the inner city. He works to he's just done a lot for the city. He is a Mason, and the Masons do a lot of good works, and they have the infrastructure to make things happen, to bring people along. So he has an uphill battle. But I am supporting Tim over Marissa and Kate.
I love that. I'm here for it. I am here for it. All right, we got Proposition 444, locally controlled alternative expenditure limitation. Question: shall the alternative expenditure limitation set forth in Phoenix City Council resolution number be adopted as part of the local expenditure control program of the city of Phoenix? In layman terms, what does a yes vote mean and what does a no vote mean?
You know what? I don't know. I really have to study this one.
Got you. Okay. These are the ones that I'm always just like, what are you talking about? How does this affect my life? What's going on with that? So we're going to do some more research on that one as well. If you guys know out there, give us a call and let us know what this means,
So unfortunately, none of the city council candidates that I'm aware of have taken a position on this and explained to their supporters why they should or shouldn't vote for this.
Yeah.
They need to wake up. It's not all going to be baby kissing and cutting ribbons. They've got they've got hard work to do.
What happens if you don't vote for it? So let's say there's something on the ballot and you're just like, I don't understand it. Maybe I don't, you could go out there and do the research, but a lot of this wording is just so like, it's such a headache to read some of it. I'm going to be vulnerable and say that. What if you don't vote on it? Like, that just means that your vote doesn't count in this, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it means that somebody else's vote counts double.
Gotcha.
So,
okay. There you go. All right. We got the justices of the Supreme Court. So let's talk about this, right? Because I think this is getting into the whole idea of somebody posted earlier today. It said on all the judges, vote no. And I kind of like that idea. And that's kind of always been my go-to. If I don't like the way things are going, I just say just no to everybody, because, hell, these positions need to change, and it gives opportunity for other people to get in there. So what are your thoughts on that? Starting with like the justices of the Supreme Court. Do you have any ideas about these? Go ahead. Floor is yours.
So they have been incredibly hostile to progress in every possible way.
Right.
Brutinel comes out of Yavapai County. Another white conservative judge that loves the death penalty and doesn't like black and brown people. So no, thank you.
Yeah.
And Gould and Lopez, same song, different verse. Just no.
It's a no from me, dog. Now we can keep going, because now we have all these judges of the Court of Appeals, and then we've got the judges of Superior Court, and then these are all these judges. As far as I'm concerned,
there's a lot of them on.
There's a lot of judges.
JJ, is there anyone that you want to address specifically,
or can we just whitewash this and call it a day?
Let me just run down the list with ones that I know of. When he was on Superior Court, McMurdy was respectful to litigants. The number of times that I was in his court, didn't always agree with what he said, but he would explain his rulings so that when they were appealed, there would be a good record. So I think that deserves retention. Same thing with James Morse. James Morse has always been respectful. I think he was a good judge in Superior Court. I didn't know him. I don't work in appellate courts, or have never really have worked in appellate courts, so I just don't know. Jennifer Perkins, I don't know anything about. Samuel Duma, I don't know anything about. And same thing with David Weisenweig.
Right.
So are you gonna spend time researching them, or are you just defaulting to no?
Defaulting to no if I don't know anything about them.
That's my.
So getting to
Superior Court. Go ahead.
Getting to Superior Court, just running down. Yep. Jay Adelman is attentive. He is a pretty. I haven't heard any of the attorneys that I know have anything bad to say about him. Sarah Agnew, I don't know, so that's a no. Justin Boreski, I know personally, he's a pretty good guy, so he's a yes. Don't know Blaney. Lori Bustamante is rude. Coffee. So when I talk about somebody, a judge being rude, that is devastating for the people, for the parties to the court. If you're a defendant or you're bringing a lawsuit and the judge is nasty, unnecessarily, just rule on we don't care about your personality, just rule.
Right. Save it. Save somebody who gives a shit. I'm here for you to do your damn job, and that is not to judge me personally, but to judge my case, and that's some real stuff. Yeah.
Coffee, no. Cohen, terrible sentencer. Susan Cohen is absolutely terrible. Connie Contes was always pretty nice. Christopher Corey is derisive. If he doesn't agree with a litigant, and there's no space for that. Adam Driggs is an evangelical nightmare. You can't keep Jesus off the bench with him. Rhonda Fisk, I don't know. Pamela Gates is a terribly punitive sentencer. Jolyn Gentry was rung up by the commission for being rude to people. Judge Hanna's not bad. Litigant can get a good result in his court if the attorneys do the work. Same thing with Judge Kemp. Let me see. I don't know Daniel Kiley. Don't know Margaret LaBianca. Don't know Todd Lang. Judge Mahoney is a mother and a hard worker. She works hard to listen to litigants. She can drop the hammer on a litigant, but if the defendant has done the work and has worked toward rehabilitation, she will give that person a chance.
Nice.
Michael Mandel, I don't know. Susan Shiner. I don't know much about Michael McCoy, but I've never heard anybody say anything against him. Kathleen Mead, I don't know anything about. McKiddish, I don't know anything about. Minder, Mullins, Palmer, I don't know. Ponce, I don't know. Tim Ryan is not a bad guy. He'll do the right thing if the lawyers put the work in.
Yeah.
Sanders, I don't know. Starr, I don't know. Sherry Stevens is a hell no. She was the judge who she's an absolute train wreck. She is the judge who could not control the courtroom during the Jodi Arias trial and let the prosecutor run all over the place, banging reporters and sexting a juror that had been dismissed. She knew about it and didn't do anything about it. She made a complete mess of that.
Wow. So she's an L.
No,
okay.
She's a hell no.
Okay.
Thomason, I don't know. I don't know anything about Allen. Lisa Vandenberg, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about her.
Very good.
Kevin Ween, I don't know anything about. And Christopher Whitten. Christopher Whitten is another judge that when he was in criminal, he would give somebody a benefit of the doubt if the defense attorney, gave him a reason to do it.
Sure.
So he would be a yes.
So here's the deal. We've got another 10 minutes left of the show. We've got two propositions left. We've got Proposition 207, 208. There is a lot of controversy around 207, right? There's a lot of talk about it and about, people think that this is a good thing because we're going to, it's the ballot to legalize weed. If I'm incorrect, correct me if I'm wrong on that one. And then we want to know. We want to know what your thoughts on are. I think you have some very strong thoughts about it.
Can we get 208 out of the way first?
Let's not yet. Let's end on a high. Okay, let's end on a high. So let's talk about 208, and then we'll end on 207. Go ahead.
Okay, so 208 is just pro education. That is a no brainer. For me. And
is that a yes vote on that one?
That is an absolute yes vote.
Very good. Awesome. We always want education, guys. Vote yes on education. That's just kind of like, that just improves our community. So let's talk about some weed, guys. Let's get real on weed. Let's end our night on weed. What is Proposition 207? What is it actually saying? In layman terms, what does a yes mean and what does a no mean? The floor is yours, JJ.
Okay. So what a yes on 207 does is it means that people who use marijuana would be less likely to get DUIs, and the burden of proof would be on the burden of proof to prove that a person was impaired would be on the prosecution rather than merely having some THC or metabolites in the blood would automatically make convict a person of DUI. The downside to Prop 207 is that to change this law later, because there are a lot of deficiencies with it.
Yeah.
To change it later, it would take a 3/4 vote of the Arizona legislature, and you couldn't get 3/4 of the people in the Arizona legislature to agree that ice cream is delicious.
Sure.
So this is going to be engraved in stone. And I, for one, am tired of white people telling me that the back of the bus gets there pretty much the same time as the front. I'm sick of it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
one of the things that this does is that it engraves in stone the number of licenses that will ever be available. So right now,
Interesting.
I believe there are 163 licenses, and this would cap it at 175. All of those licenses are held by white men.
There you go.
Save two. There are two that are held by Hispanics. All of the rest of those, and it is just ridiculous that they have done this way.
That's insane.
So there's absolutely no equity. So black folks get locked up for weed, and they get locked out of selling it.
Wow, locked up and locked out. Yeah, that's going to be.
But this would essentially allow recreational use, right?
So it would allow. It would to an extent allow. It would allow people to have up to an ounce. But it wouldn't allow you to grow your own.
You can't smoke it out in the street, though.
You can't smoke it in
right.
In
no,
public.
you can't.
Right.
No, you'd have to smoke it. You'd have to smoke it at home.
No.
But
no. Yeah.
But it is so flawed that I cannot get there. One of my favorite quotes ever was, "A system cannot fail those it was not designed to protect." In this case, in this case, the system has been designed, and Garrick McFadden and I, Garrick's a local attorney. We sat down with the people that crafted this, Mr. Gawana, and we told them what our concerns were, and he just blew us off. Just blew us off. Wow. So, thank you, but no thank you.
So this is so a yes would say, hey, we've got these 170 licenses. The 98% of them are to white men. The other 2% are to Hispanics. That's going to be it. And then and then a no would say, no, we got to take this back to the drawing board. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and put a no on this, because that's just one of the things that I truly I'm really bothered about with this whole weed stuff, is that there's so many white people that are making money off of weed and living healthy lives, and mothers are going through birth, and weed helped me out, and fathers are being better fathers because of weed and all sorts of kind of stuff. And yet we still have black people who are slaves, as far as I'm concerned, because of petty crimes and weed charges. And it's something that is truly, it's kept me from reinstating my weed card. Because I don't even want to participate in it. But
let me make this point too: the expungement part would only be for people who had been convicted of having up to an ounce of weed. Now, for the people that I know that really smoke weed, if they were down to their last ounce, they would be in a panic, right? Because they would be out of weed.
Right. Exactly. I know. I know.
And so one thing I want to clarify too, JJ, is that there's a portion of it too that reads, where is it? Imposing a 16% excise tax on marijuana sales to fund community colleges, infrastructure, public safety, and public health programs. However, a lot of that is kind of what I was reading too and researching, is that a lot of that goes on autopilot. So even if you have a community college that doesn't need the actual funds, the proposition would say they still need to spend the funds, right? So it's not governed by a need, it's governed by automation. And then on top of that, public safety, a very large portion, I think it was, and I don't know why they pointed it out, it was
31% of the revenue raised would go to cops with no strings attached.
Come on.
Wasn't it also towards their pension too? Like a portion of that?
Well, no strings attached, so it could be towards anything. Right?
It's no strings. It's no strings attached. So I don't know if it's I don't know if it's going to the pension, but I don't need the police having more money. I need money coming out.
Especially not off of weed. What they're arresting people for. That's so stupid.
But that's why it's not even being. It's used for what they're dictating now, but not for, let's say, 5 years from now, what is actually needed. No one has control over that money, right? It goes in the direction that this proposition is saying at this point in time.
It goes into a general law enforcement fund.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our show. Yeah, we have made it. I want to thank our guest host, JJ. Thank you so much for joining us. JJ, tell them where they can find you. You do intrinsic photography. Do you want to talk a little about that?
Intrinsic imagery. On social media, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on at Intrinsic Imagery on Facebook. I'm currently doing a project. I'm trying to photograph as many Black folks as possible in the community. Kelvin was the first that I did, but I really want to.
Yeah, amazing.
Hey,
I really want to capture the ordinary, extraordinary people in the community and show the beauty of black men and women, and non-binary folks that are in the community. So
and
reach out, please.
JJ, we're gonna do an exclusive interview. I'm putting him on camera right now, so he can. We've been talking about it. I want to do an exclusive interview with JJ and talk more about that project. He also just secured a space, a brick and mortar space for his business. So it's another Black-owned business that is growing and just evolving and just becoming big things here in Phoenix. And super thankful to have you on. Have all your insights on, JJ. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you.
Thank you, JJ.
Thanks for asking, guys.
All right. You have a good night, my friend. We're going to take you out of stream. I think he was going to say something. All right, guys.
Okay, so real quick, after you're done voting, what did you do here? Now let's talk about you unboxed. Let's talk about boxing.
So I unboxed and now I reboxed. Okay, I reboxed. I sealed it up. I made sure that everything is good. Got everything signed. Got to sign your little name back here. Oops. Oh, this is backwards. Sign your name back here. Okay. And then you're going to put your phone number and everything. And then you're going to be good. And then, Taylor, what you can do is just stick this right back in your mail. But you know what? We're not going to do that.
We want them to get home safely.
I want them to get home safely. And I know that you can do the whole thing, or you can check on your package, make sure you got home and everything. But I'm taking mine right down to the station. It's right downtown. And I'm going to put it in the box myself. And
like the post office, like the little blue box.
No, that you take it right down, because I did it before. You take it right down to the voters, I think it's the county recorder. I think you take it right downtown and you give it right to them, and it's just like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'll take care of it. I'll take it down, because you know what? Also,
do you get the sticker too if you drop it off?
You get a sticker. I don't give a damn about the damn sticker.
I want the fucking sticker.
Oh wow. We got an F-bomb from freaking Taylor tonight. That's amazing.
I just want the I voted sticker.
Okay, well, I'll get you 2 I voted stickers.
I'll just change my profile pic. Fuck it.
Whoa. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. What are your takeaways from tonight, Dave?
Vote. It's do it. And it's actually kind of fun. Like it's cool to go through it. And we've been focused a lot on the presidential debates and everything. Yeah. And some at the higher level state candidates and everything, but once you get into the propositions and the Supreme Courts and all that type of stuff, it's kind of fun.
So a couple things. So we were going to do the national, so they're supposed to have the debates next Thursday, but Trump doesn't want to spend his time doing a virtual debate. So the presidential debate, the second one, has been canceled this week. And so what we're going to do instead is we're going to be doing a tribute to Breonna Taylor. We're going to be making space for Black women. And it's going to be called Space for Black Women, or Space for Breonna Taylor. And it's going to be a tribute for Black women. So if you are a Black woman and you would like to just kind of get on the show and speak your truth about the Breonna Taylor's case, about what it means to be a Black woman in America for yourself, your experience, this is going to be the show for you. We're just going to be live, and we're going to make space for Black women to come on and speak their truth. And so we're gonna have some fun with that, because I was talking to a new friend of mine, and she was telling me we had a great connection, and she was like, thank you for making space for me to be, and it just kind of resonated with me, and I just was like, it made me feel bad that Black women feel like they don't have that space, and I know that they don't, and that's because Malcolm X said it best, is that the most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. So my takeaway from today is that voting matters, and that there's a lot of shit on this thing to be wary of. So my name is Kelvin.
I'm Taylor.
And that is our show.